Erev Tov. Let's talk about Tisha B'Av. We have a lot of things to say there. One thing very important to know, is that you're not allowed to learn Torah on Tisha B'Av. That's what it says in Halacha. So what's the whole thing about this? What's going on with that? The whole thing is that the Torah gives you simcha, when you learn Torah. So therefore, we don't want you to have this simcha. Just like we said yesterday, you're not allowed to smell besamim. On Tisha B'Av. Same thing also here, right? You're not allowed to learn Torah because it gives you simcha. But, right, on the other hand, comes the Chazal and tell you, it doesn't mean that you can't learn any Torah on Tisha B'Av. It just means in general, right? So what does that mean? The things which are good, but the things which are sad parts of the Torah, you're allowed to learn. Right? Why? Because that's not going to make you happy. It's a sad story. It's a sad thing there. It's a sad issue. So therefore, anything like that, you're allowed to learn on Tisha B'Av. What am I talking about? Number one, right, they tell you, Sefer Iyov, right? Iyov, the whole book is a tragedy, So you're allowed to learn Sefer Iyov on Tisha B'Av. There are some, rabbis, who do this. After they finish the keynote at night, right, and the Arvit and everything, what they do is, when everybody goes home, they open up Sefer Iyov and they read the whole book, from beginning to end. It's a long book. It's a big book, Sefer Iyov. Like 40 chapters, So can you imagine? They finish it. They go, until they finish the whole thing. So it's sad. You're allowed to do that. This is the reason why. It's not going to make you happy. What's happy? What? It's all tragedy there. Another thing, which they say is that Sefer Yirmiyahu, right? Jeremiah. So Yirmiyahu, there's a lot of sad parts over there, in Yirmiyahu. Why? Because, he was in the time of the Churban, of the Bait, Churban HaBait. So he was giving a lot of nevuot about the Churban HaBait. It's very sad things over there, how it's going to be destroyed, the temple, there's all kinds of things. So, a lot of the Sefer Yirmiyahu, it's very sad. Those sad parts you're allowed to learn on Tisha B'Av. But, right, there are some parts which are good, nice, nechamot, So those parts, they say, if you get to that part, skip it. Don't read the good parts of the Yirmiyahu, only the bad. Right, on Tisha B'Av. Skip the good things. And do the bad only. Yeah, so, because it's not going to make you happy. It's very sad. What else we got? We also have other things, right, you're allowed to learn. Which is, laws of Avelut, you're allowed to learn. It's very sad, you're talking about Avelut, people dying, this one died. Yeah. How can you be happy when you're talking about this, right? Not going to make you happy. So therefore, the rule is, custom is by minhag is by some people, by some chachamim, they learn the laws of Avelut, all Tisha B'Av, to remember all the halachot. Why? Because you can't learn anything else, so might as well learn something this, it's also very helpful. You know what it is? I'll tell you. The rabbi knows. I'll tell you one thing. When you become a rabbi of a kehillah, right? Most of the questions you get are about Avelut. People asking you, what should I do? Should I say Kaddish? Should I do Ashkava? Right? The baklava, this, right? All kinds of things. That's all they're asking you all the time. How to do Avelut when you become a rabbi. So, it's good to know. Every rabbi should know laws of Avelut. You know what I mean? He should know the halachot. Because people always coming and asking questions about Avelut. So if you don't know, what are you going to tell him? Let me ask my rabbi. The rabbi is going to ask his rabbi. But you're also a rabbi. You should know yourself. You know what I mean? Don't just say, I'm going to ask my rabbi. So you got to, make sure, right, that you know these halachot. So that's why, on Tisha B'Av, we can learn the halachot of Avelut. In this way, right, when somebody comes to ask, we have what to give them, right? That's the thing, So it's very good to do that. There's also Gemara, right, which is Elu Megalechim. Where is this in this Gemara in Moed Katan, right? What does it talk about over there? Avelut also, right? That parak is talking about Avelut. And also talking about Shamata. Right? Shamata. What is Shamata? What is that? You know what this is? Shamata. Shamata is laws of excommunication, when somebody is a bad boy, right? Rasha. And he's doing some sins, Sometimes the Beit Din, or the rabbi will come and excommunicate him. You're out of the community. He kicks him out of the community. That's what it is, shamata. Nidui. So there are also laws about that, right? How to do shamata. How it's done, how it's not done, right? All kinds of things. There are rules about this also. Brought down in this Gemara and also brought down in the Shulchan Aruch. Shamata, nidui, right? Cherem, all kinds of things like this. Lo aleinu. We have to know about these halachot also, They're not as important as Abelut, because we don't really do shamata very often, by the way, we don't do nowadays. I'll tell you something interesting, right? And we'll finish here. I want to tell you, when I was in Israel, I was 15 years with Maran over there, Rabbi. And, I was neighbors with him. I prayed with him in the minyan, shiurim, shiurei Torah, everything, we got everything from him. Beautiful, the best. So the thing is, that one time we were sitting and learning in the kollel, just a regular day, like any other day. So what happened? All of a sudden, Maran walks into the kollel. You know what I mean? He doesn't usually come over there. If he's coming to give a shiur, he tells us, right? They tell us he's coming to give a shiur. He doesn't usually come. So what happened? He came in, and he was wearing black hat like this, and black suit, everything black. Like this, right? That's no surprise because rabbis usually wear black, nowadays, right? That's like a minhag. But white shirt. You're right. Okay, so anyway, right? He comes in, but usually when he came over there, he didn't wear black. You know what he wore? The glima of the Rishon LeZion, right? He was Rishon LeZion, So he wore the special glima, right? So he came in with all black, comes in, sits down, and we're sitting there, like, what's going on here, Why did he come? They didn't tell us he's giving a shiur today. What is he here for? So, all of a sudden, he starts to talk. Da 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 da. What is he saying? So he says, there's this one guy, who's giving me a lot of tzarot. Some Jewish guy, right? And he's doing all kinds of things to me, bothering me, harassing me, all kinds of things. And he says, I warned him several times, don't do this, You're not allowed to behave this way. So he says, I warned him several times through people. He didn't listen. He still continues, to afflict me, to give me problems. Can you imagine? Chutzpah. This is the way you treat a Talmid Chacham. You know what I mean? So what did he say? He said, because he did this, he said, I'm putting him now in nidui, in shamata. He excommunicated him. He announced it right there in front of us, and he cursed him. Klala, everything like this. And we were in shock. When I was sitting there, I almost fainted on the floor when I heard this. It was so scary. Very scary situation. This is what happened, One time I saw this and they did that. Another time I'll tell you, which I was told, I wasn't there. But I was told, that one time, the Rabbi Maran, when he was younger, in his younger days, this before I knew him. I didn't know him at that time. So when he was younger, he was giving a shiur in the Bet Knesset HaGadol, right, in Yerushalayim. There's a big Bet Knesset over there, right, next to the Rabbanut, over there. So Ramanan was giving a shiur, halacha, whatever. So went a few guys, yeshiva students, yeshiva boys, They went up to the Ezrat Nashim, Lamala, upstairs, right? And when Maran was giving the shiur, they started to make fun of him, making crazy things, mocking him. So what happened was, right, that Maran looks up there, to Ezrat Nashim. He sees these boys, making an ass out of themselves, excuse my language, right? So, what does he do? He stopped the shiur. He says, Hareata b'shamta. He put them in shamata right there, and he continued the shiur. He finished it. Nothing happened, So what happened was that these boys, they got a little bit scared. Why? Because they said, Talmid Chacham did need shamata on us, nidui. Maybe this is something really bad. They got scared, They got scared. So what happened was, right, they went to some Rabbanim in Yerushalayim, and they asked them. They said, this rabbi, he did nidui on us, cherem, So he says, is something going to happen to us? What's going to be? What do we have to do now? So some of the rabbis told him, don't worry about it, nothing, just a joke, nothing. He's just trying to scare you. That's it. So these boys, they said, oh, okay. They believed it, They said, okay, all right. So they went home. That's it, right? Finished, right? It's finished, right? But not really finished. So what happened, right? So this boy, who was there, what happened? He got married, afterwards. He was a young kid. Gets married, and several years passes by, and he can't have children, no children coming. 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, no children, no son, no daughter, no nothing. So this boy, starts to remember what he did to the rabbi there, he disgraced him.